Dr. Gary Kirklis, good to have you here.
Thank you.
All right, let's talk about e-cigarettes. First of all, what are they?
So back in 2015, JUUL actually came out with e-cigarettes. So the idea was if you wanted to have aerosolized nicotine, you could use that through an electronic cigarette. Prior to that, people, if they wanted to quit traditional cigarettes, they'd have to use a nicotine gum or a patch.
So, but how does it work? I mean, I've never done this kind of thing, you know, as far as an e-cigarette is concerned.
Good for you.
Yeah, thanks. But, I mean, how does it work?
So what happens is they have a little container that has things like propylene glycol, glycerin, flavorings, and then liquid nicotine. Then it has a heating coil that basically aerosolized all these chemicals so that you can inhale aerosolized nicotine without having the burnt tobacco leaves.
So you've got the nicotine, but you don't have tobacco.
Correct.
Does that mean it's addictive?
Very much so. So you still have the same addictive properties of nicotine that is in a traditional cigarette as would be in the liquid aerosolized nicotine.
I mean, it's slightly less though, isn't it? I mean, isn't that the deal?
No, so in an average cartridge, you have enough nicotine that would be equivalent to a pack of cigarettes. So you have one cartridge equaling one pack of cigarettes. So,
wow.
Yeah.
All right, and JUUL Labs, they were investigated, I think, by the FDA for marketing. They were kind of marketing cartoon figures and that sort of thing, correct?
Yeah, so when they came out, they said this would be a great way for people who are using traditional cigarettes to get off of them. And so, but what happened in 2015 is you look at all the marketing that they did, and it was definitely targeting young adults. So all the models that they used in their advertisements were 21, 22-year-olds, not people who have ever possibly used tobacco again.
Yes.
So they're essentially creating new customers.
Right.
And so, yeah, they had a big social media presence as well.
Has that changed?
Yes. So they had to pull all those ads, and they actually paid like $1.9 billion in settlement fees.
Wow.
Due to their targeting of youth.
Yeah, holy smokes. Yeah, that's obviously something's wrong there. Okay,
Yes.
So now the FDA's basically said, okay, you're doing well as far as a tobacco product is concerned. What did the FDA really say here?
So the decision was, is there a net benefit? Are the amount of adults who are using traditional cigarettes, having JUUL available to them, is that producing enough of a public health benefit to oversee all the youth who are using electronic cigarettes? And as a pediatrician, we are doing a great job getting kids off of traditional cigarettes, but they are definitely using electronic cigarettes.
I think the FDA said that JUUL was appropriate now for the protection of public health. These e-cigarettes were appropriate for the protection of public health. How do e-cigarettes protect public health?
Well, the idea would be is that we have a large contingent of Americans smoking traditional cigarettes, and if we have JUUL available to them, they would be able to get off of those and use electronic cigarettes.
And I would imagine JUUL would also say it's important to have a regulated kind of consistent market so that stuff is there so people don't go back to cigarettes because they can't either find it or use it correctly.
Correct.
And that's what the FDA is saying.
Yeah, so their thought was there's a net benefit. They perfectly know that youth are getting their hands on this.
What do you think of that idea?
You know, JUUL has a history from their marketing tactics and their social media presence that they went after youth. And so I'm kind of holding my breath here to see whether they're going to be genuine and they're not going to go after youth again. Because
it sounds to me, I think you referred to this, that cigarette smoking among kids, it seems like it's down, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
E-cigarette use, is that down among teenagers?
Fortunately, it is trending down. Although, when we look at the studies, the 12th graders, 35% of them were using electronic cigarettes back in 2010. 2020, now we're going back down. Down to like 21%. So it's going down, but still 21% of high schoolers are using this. So
the impact of this decision, do you think, on those declining rates? Will there be an impact?
I fear there will be. There's more product available, and JUUL's a very large corporation. They have a big impact.
All right. From where you sit, are e-cigarettes safe?
No.
Why?
Absolutely not. While it's true that a traditional cigarette is going to have tar and carbon monoxide because it's combustible, electronic cigarettes aren't safe. They might be used, the term safer could be applied, but they are not safe. When you aerosolize propylene glycol and glycerin and nicotine, some of those things form volatile organic compounds, which are carcinogenic. Additionally, the heating spring, which aerosolizes everything, is made of metal, and we get things like lead and nickel being leached out of them. So they are not safe.
So some of those chemicals do get into the system?
Oh, yes.
Seriously so?
Well, we don't know yet. So in the studies we've done on kids, they will take urine samples on a teenager who, half hour before had used electronic cigarettes, and we can detect in their urine those chemicals. We don't know what the significance of that is yet, but we'll find out.
So with that in mind, do you think there is enough regulation of e-cigarettes?
It's hard to say because you have the balance, right? You have adults getting off of traditional cigarettes, which we want, but we don't know the significance. You know, when you start smoking as a teenager, you're not going to get lung cancer or COPD until you're in your 50s, right? We don't know what's going to happen with vaping.
Last question here. Vaping, e-cigarettes, compare that to the nicotine gum and the other efforts to get off of cigarettes. Better? Worse?
So as a pediatrician, we would always recommend the gum and the patches because you're getting directly nicotine. You're not having those other chemicals you're inhaling. Lungs are not supposed to be inhaling these things. So I would always opt for those modalities.
Yeah, inhaling stuff you're not supposed to inhale is never a really good idea, is it? Dr. Gary Kirkles, again, pediatrician on e-cigarettes and the decision by the FDA on JUUL Labs. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that is it for now. I'm Ted Simons. Thank you so much for joining us. You have a great evening.